こんにちは。 MLB 翻訳速報です。今回は大谷翔平と同じクラブハウスで過ごすチームメイトタイラー・グラスノーが語った素顔の翔平二刀流の裏側に迫るインタビューをご紹介します。フィールドでは見えないチームメイトだからこそ知る大谷翔平の姿をぜひ最後までご覧ください。
You know, you talked about being in the same clubhouse as Shohei Ohtani.
That's right. I was.
How about a guy who's currently in the clubhouse with
And
Shohei Ohtani?
did a lot more with him. He won a I didn't even make the playoffs with him, so.
Let's go ahead and welcome him in. Tyler Glass now. How we doing, Tyler?
Good. Hanging out. Glad to be here. Thanks, guys.
No, thank you. Thanks so much for. And by the way, I should say congratulations on the nuptials.
Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, I appreciate it. It's been a big offseason. A lot of rings in my offseason.
Oh, all the rings, all the rings. Okay, so when we talk about we're dedicating an entire day to Shohei Ohtani. It's well-deserved, right? But when you think of him as a teammate, how would you characterize him? Because we hear these little anecdotes here and there. We don't know a whole lot about Shohei. We know he's got a dog named Decoy, but shed some light.
Honestly, I think it, like in any baseball season, it's like hard to hide your true personality just because you're around people so often. And like, I honestly, like kind of what you see is what you get. Like the way he is in media and around people, he's very similar to that in the clubhouse. He's always like a good attitude. I've never really seen him get down on himself. He doesn't have a lot to get down on, but like there's been times where he struggled and he's just been the same guy. He comes in, he's happy. I feel like he's pretty good at like separating it all. It's probably a lot, but he seems very just, I don't know, like happy-go-lucky. I've said it before too, he just always seems like he's at summer camp, and he's just always been consistent around like the team. And I think too, I guess the only thing I noticed, like when he first started to pitch and hit at the same time, the only time I could notice a little change was just in preparation of like, I think when he started pitching mentally, he was a little bit more like consumed, I'd say, like more mechanical stuff maybe as he was getting going. Like you'd see him in the weight room, like working on mechanics a little bit, but he'd do his hitting and then do some mechanical stuff and then go. But he was always just the same dude, always a good vibe, always happy. So yeah, consistent.
Tyler, I want to first thank you for doing this. It's not too many teammates who go into an interview and understand you're coming to the interview to talk about somebody else. So props to you for being the ultimate teammate for doing this for Shohei. But last block I was talking about some of the adjustments that Shohei was able to make, his velo this season, his ability to come back from another major elbow surgery and still find a way to get to the same velo. You've had your fair share of injuries. Give us some color on how tough that should be for a player while they're going 50-50 to still find a way to rehab like they need to be able to perform right away the next season.
Yeah, I mean, I can't speak on that whole work. Just the hitting, the pitching, and the rehabbing, I think is what a lot of people maybe don't talk about. Like having to do all that and then rehab. You'd see him in there and they would pencil in some time and he'd work with Thomas. He had some other people in there. He'd get his work done in the beginning. I think he's just good at like spacing his time out correctly. Like I think a lot of guys fall into the pattern of struggling and like sitting in the cage for 2 hours and trying to fix it. I don't think he has time or like availability to do that. I think for him, I don't know what his like cage work is like just being a pitcher, but I think it's just you find your time, you do it. You have this time for hitting, you have this time for rehab, you have this time for pitching, and then you have to move on and maybe not get too emotionally attached to like each thing. And he's pretty well known for not taking BP. I think he's just kind of the unique thing about him is he's found his routine, and I don't think he tries to obsess too much on one thing, and he's just kind of good at rolling with whatever he's got to do. And this is from just a pitcher from the outside. I don't know his day-to-day stuff, but from what I can see, it's a consistent routine. He's got some help with the trainers, but I just think he's good at moving on. Like if something doesn't feel right, he's like, whatever, I'm Shohei, it's fine.
Yeah, I was teammate. He hasn't changed much. That's exactly how he was in 2018. Yeah. So it's amazing to hear that he's exactly the same guy. I guess as a teammate, you all have your special craft. You look at this Dodgers pitching staff. All of you guys are so different. With Shohei, you know, you're looking at him as a pitcher first when y'all are having conversations. How much with the language barrier are you able to bounce things off of each other? How much are y'all able to talk approaches or be able to pick each other's brain when it comes to approaches, attacking other hitters?
I've had a few moments and stuff in like the dugout with him, and like I think especially games where he's just DHing, like he'll have some more time to talk. There's been a few things, but I think more so probably hitters and like cage work. I think you spend so much time with each other inside. There's probably a lot of back and forth there. I haven't talked to him like specifically about the routine stuff a ton. It's been a little bit, but it's more just like that general dugout talk, like "What's up? How you doing?" And like you'll bounce whatever it is off one another. I've asked him maybe a little bit about like grips and how he lifts and stuff like that. Small questions throughout the year. But he's pretty available. I think, too, as a DH, he's not like a dude who needs to be, like, locked in at all times, too. I think DHing, like, he still very much has, like, a good personality when he's in between innings. And so I can just talk to him. He's in the dugout hanging out, talking to people. And I think the time I do talk to him, it's probably, like, in the dugout during the game. I think the rest of the time is for all that other stuff we talked about.
Tyler, Doc Dave Roberts was on the network earlier, and he said, "I do feel that he is the best player of all time to put on a baseball uniform. I don't need another 5 years to validate with what my eyes already see." So what moment for you were you like, whoa, as you're sitting there watching him?
I mean, probably before he was even on the Dodgers. I just think, like, I guess I haven't, like, seen in season, I'm not looking at like a bunch of highlights and stuff, but it was hard to avoid like all the things he was doing even on the Angels. I think everyone was aware of how good he was before he signed the contract with the Dodgers. So I think early on, for me, it was like clearly this guy's a freak. He's the best in baseball. And then I think like a specific moment with the Dodgers, I think it was one specific home run. I think it was at home last year. And I think it was like a pull side homer out of the stadium. And I was already impressed, but I think at that moment I was like, damn. And I guess another easy answer would be, it happened way before the postseason, but I think that game, the game against the Brewers, where he hit 3 home runs and struck out 10 people, that was pretty much, that would solidify it for anybody. I think if there were any doubters, I think they were all probably like shut up at that point. But there's been a lot of moments that I've just been blown away by him.
Tyler, we really appreciate the time. Are you just chilling right now? Are you just enjoying off season? Have you started throwing yet?
Yeah, I'm throwing, I'm lifting. I have my first bullpen tomorrow. I'm just outside hanging out by the water. I'm going to go pick up some sushi. Oh my gosh. I'm going to go hang out.
Okay.
And then, hang out with some friends.
タイラー・グラスノーの言葉から見えてきたのは、圧倒的な結果を残しながらも、決して特別ぶらず、淡々と自分のルーティンをこなし続ける大谷翔平の姿でした。二刀流という前例のない挑戦、怪我やリハビリを乗り越えながらも、感情に振り回されず、やるべきことを整理し、一つずつ積み重ねていく姿勢。それは派手な言葉よりもチームメイトの何気ない証言の中にこそはっきりと現れていたように思います。このチャンネルでは MLB で活躍する日本人選手たちのインタビューや発言をできるだけ現場の空気感そのままにお届けしています。動画が良かったと感じていただけたらチャンネル登録と高評価で応援していただけると嬉しいです。それではまた次の動画でお会いしましょう。